Good evening to everybody. I was listening to the whole program and these amazing stories everybody was telling me. I actually had a speech prepared. Then I thought, actually, no, I'm not going to read from it because it's going to be very boring. Plus, it's much better if we share our stories. People will listen and they will learn. And the amazing stories our honorable speakers have been telling. So it's just amazing stories. Uh, as you know, uh, I was a member of parliament. Right now, I'm not, but I'm still working with the member of parliament because I am with the Parliamentarian Caucus on Migration and Development, and we work with migrant workers, especially with the women. So I'm going to just tell you of Bangladesh, how actually telling you about Bangladesh, we have seen in 1971 how women participated in the war. So women were always empowered. We never had the discussion like we need to empower them. They were. And if we go back to the 20th century, we'll see Begum Rokia Hussein, he actually, with her futuristic mind, came forward to remove all the obstacles that hindered women from chasing their dreams. So she has transformed the lives of thousands of people in this region and beyond, was an advocate for women's rights. This was during the British rule India. And from the Liberation War 1971, Bangladesh has progressed a lot. Bangladesh women's movement stands on a solid foundation due to a strong administrative and legal framework and a concursus civil society, which has played an effective role um, in establishing women's rights and creating a women-friendly environment. While I was in the parliament, I had the opportunity of meeting amazing women from all walks of the life, and women were the leaders in their communities and the champions of justice. Their stories encouraged me and reminded me of the power of women to change the world. But I also realized that this discrimination and the violence against women, which continued to hold women back. As a when I joined the politics, when I first started going to my constituency, the first thing you won't believe, people started asking me, "Don't you have a brother?" And that story, I think I had shared before, and one of my colleagues just shared. Like when you have three sisters, you don't have a brother. What do you tell them? You know. And it's still like that in Bangladesh. People, it's changing, but in the villages, it's still like you need to have a brother. Why your brother is not here? So this is the first shock I got when I went to my constituency. Then there was like when you sit in the parliament, you feel these people are the creamers, like the from 180 million people. This is the cream of the cream. But when you hear verbal abuse or sexual remarks, there's not even a support system where you can just go and talk about it or you can complain. So it is there, and it is in the parliament. And I will share another story that we had one workshop with the female and male MPs about human rights and women empowerment in politics. So one of the male MP point blankly said, first you take care of your home, then come to the parliament. So this is the kind of men we sit with them to do the policies, and we do policies in our mind thinking the women are included. So there has to be a change. And as rightly Dr. Farah said, like men needs to change. We know what we have to do. So there's no need for us to talk about it. We know it. So this is where we need to work. So as the Secretary General of the Parliamentarian Caucus on Migration and Development, I have closely seen and heard many stories of the miseries of migrant workers, especially female migrant workers. They are still not paid equally for work of equal value. Not only the women paid less, but they are perceived to be less valuable. Migrant workers play a crucial role in sustaining the global economy, yet they are among the most vulnerable and marginalized groups in society. Women migrant workers are also face a multitude of barriers, including unfair hiring practices, limited access to education, skill training, and restrictive immigration policies. One of the most pressing issues facing migrant workers is the occurrence of gender-based violence and exploitation. Many migrant women are subjected to sexual harassment, assault, and exploitation in the workplace with few avenues for recourse or support. So progress in the empowerment is within our grasp, but requires determined and collective efforts. But when we talk about women helping women, there's a problem there too, because I have seen all my life when one female person is doing very well, the other female, they pull her down. It's never like encourage or it's a healthy competition. It's never like that. So here we need to work also. I don't know if it's in the Western society, if it's the same. I think maybe somebody from the speakers can talk about it. But here, maybe Atia can, you are in USA, you might talk about this. But here, it is always like that. And the first thing they will talk about your character. Being a woman, they'll talk about your character because that's the easy way. It is almost the easy way to destroy somebody's anything like their home, their work, everything. They will do that. So this is one place we need to work. And I think one of the speaker was talking about divorce and property rights. But when we talk about property rights, you know, that time Sharia law comes. When there's a divorce, there's a Sharia law. It's always advantage to the men. But other places, it's always the common law, the whichever country you are there, that law. But it's always so. That means they're trying to, again, uh, put women down like this. They're being like, they're not, they're properties. They're not actually human beings. So, and another speaker said about marginalized, but when we talk about marginalized, we have to take account of disabled people too, disabled women or girls, because that we have a big, um, uh, in our society, we have, I think there are a lot of disabled people, like especially girls and women, and they're not, they have not come to the mainstream. So that we need to talk about them and work for them. That's one place we need to do some more. I think I was listening to everybody, and Miss Hira said, let's not celebrate only one day, and I agree with her 100%. We have to celebrate Women's Day every day because we are amazing. We rock. So I'm going to finish my speech, and I'll just say that together, let us build a future where every woman and girl can thrive, and where gender equality is not a goal, but a reality for all. At the end, I just want to thank Safe Women of Bangladesh for organizing this wonderful International Women's Summit 2024 and inviting me as a speaker. And especially, I like to thank Mr. Shagor, the founder of the organization. And thank you, and happy International Women's Day.